All right, talk to us about the streaming of music, distribution of music in this time and age. How how is the business like for the artists and even those who own such platforms?
All right. That's a very brilliant question. Um, the digital music distribution platform is one platform that helps artists to, like we say from the word distribution, distribute their songs to different stores. And when these songs go to all of these stores, every sales that is made on each store is accumulated and then sent back through a distribution platform. And I'll explain. There are several of them. We have the TuneCore, we have the CD Baby, we have DistroKid, we have the Ditto, quite a number of them. All right. But what you do is once you distribute with one of these platform, your song goes to about 150 stores. Let me use TuneCore for an example. So your song goes to Spotify, to Apple Music, to Shazam, to Deezer, to Pandora, to iHeartRadio, a lot of them. All right. And so each of these stores have a price tag, you know, for selling every stream. So if somebody plays your song from the beginning to the end, you get a certain amount of money, usually in dollars. All right. But before the emergence of this, artists just promote their song. I mean, that's why we have artists who go very viral, very popular, yet very poor, because they do not put their songs on digital streaming platform where they can monitor their sales. Now, when you distribute through a digital platform, all right, when you distribute through a digital platform, you get your payment at least every month is going to be somewhere in your bank inside that distribution platform. However, when a lot of artists upload songs, they just send to a random person and say, please help me upload. I want my song on Apple Music. I want it on Spotify. No, that is not the way it is done. Whoever is distributing your song is supposed to create an account for you with any of these distribution platform that has your name. And even when they create that, they are supposed to also link your bank account to what I call Payoneer. Now, because some of these platforms do not deal with countries directly. For instance, for a long time, it took a while for DistroKid to deal with Nigeria directly because of different opinion about the people of Nigeria. So you are supposed to link your bank account with a Pioneer account where you can withdraw your streaming royalty. That's what we call it. Your streaming royalty every month. Now, if you feature anybody on that song, at the point of upload, you're supposed to say, let's say Charles Alade features Johnny Drill. At the point of upload, all of the parameters must be included. Meaning, if Johnny Drill has some certain percentage on that song, I will write 60 for Charles, 40 for Johnny Drill. And so when all of the sales have been accumulated from different stores, like I said, Spotify, Apple Music, when they are returning sales back to TuneCore, which I distribute from, or DistroKid, or whatever it is that you distribute from, they would have splitted it. That's what we call split sheet. They would have ensured that every sale, 40% go directly to Johnny Drill, and then 60% comes directly to Charles Alade, who is the original writer of the song. Now, people don't have this information, and then they get ripped off, and then you see challenges, label owner pursuing artists calling label owner a ripper. But knowledge is important because music is business, and to do any business, you're supposed to be knowledgeable about it. So that is somewhat about what music distribution is.
You made reference to the use of music distributor. Talk to us the advantage of making use of a music distributor rather than the artist or the producer doing it himself. Talk to us about the advantage and how far it will go when you deploy the use of a music distributor.
Beautiful. So there are some artists that we call indie artists, like independent artists. I mean, there are quite a number of them abroad. Oftentimes, they are not affiliated with any record label. And if you have this knowledge, you can distribute your song yourself using a distribution platform. However, there are different agencies now in Nigeria, like I also have one, that will say, you know what, don't bother yourself about this since you don't know much about it. Let me help you distribute your song, and then let me help you monitor your sales, and then let me help you bring back, whatever it is that your royalties bring to you. But people are not honest. Now, because the artist does not really know about it, you don't even know how much you are selling. So if, for instance, I distribute song for you and I just say, you have made $5,000 in the last 1 year, you'll be excited because first off, you're not expecting that much. What if I had made $25,000? You don't even know. So when we distribute song for artists, for instance, I teach them. I say, this is your platform. This is your dashboard. That's what we call it. See, this is your sales. In Canada, this is the number of people that have streamed your song in Canada, because you will see everything. The demography is there, the age range. Oh, they listen to your song more in the UK and in Canada. In Nigeria, they don't stream a lot. Nigerians love to download. So even till now, if you put your song on streaming platform, maybe for Apple Music, but for Spotify, Nigerians hardly stream. As at the time that Spotify was not in Nigeria, we had created account for artists where they are verified, because also on each store they are supposed to be a verified artist. Because if you are not a verified artist, I can claim your song to be mine because of what I know that you don't know. So it's important that artists use distribution platforms so that their songs can go viral. I heard you say that before I came up. Your song can go to different nations of the earth that you may never be able to visit. Talk of Brazil, Kuwait, some of these places that you may never be opportune to travel to. Now, it is of interest to know that an artist can go viral in Canada and they don't know him in Nigeria because his song is accepted more in that environment. Sometimes you are certified gold, sometimes you are certified platinum because of, people just like the tune. Now, when you also upload this song, there's something called artist peak, all right? So that people always want to listen to the newest upload. So when people come on Spotify, for instance, and they don't even know me, they just want to check, okay, this song was released on the 21st of September. Let me see what it sounds like. If the song is beautiful enough, I can leave it there repeatedly, be doing my job. And as long as you are streaming my song, something is coming to me. So it's important that artists use distribution platforms, but there are distribution agencies. If you are going to work with any distribution agency who would have still used the same distribution platform that you're supposed to use for yourself, be careful with them and be sure that you know all the details of what they are doing for you, so that you don't begin to complain and call people out later. So distribution platform is different from distribution agencies. Distribution platform is what the distribution agency will still use for you, and they are popular, they're online, there's nothing hidden about it. Talk of Tunko, DistroKid, Ditto, CD Baby, like I mentioned earlier. I don't know if I answered your question.
All right. You talked about indie artists and also artists using record labels. Now, in Nigeria, we do not find a lot of independent artists. Most artists come under record labels, and so they're unable to make this negotiations, this choice of which distribution or which distributor to use for their music. But talking about royalties, you talked about the distributor allocating certain percentages depending on those involved in the work. And we've seen that when people are called out, or when record labels are called out, it is over issues like this. So what is the role of the artist? When the artist has a manager, has a record label, what should the artist do to ensure that even when they are no longer with that particular record label, the royalties that are due them come to them? How do they come by this knowledge? How do they come to a position of negotiating at an advantage?
Beautiful. So I have had to manage a record label before. I've also played majorly in promoting music. Now, when you sign an artist, you have a percentage ratio that you split between the record label and the artist. Oftentimes, A sensible one would be 70-30. Some rip artists off, they will say 80-20. Some even go as far as say, 90-10. Some don't even give artists anything. They will say, we are paying your salary. We have, rented an apartment for you at the Lekki. We have got you Ferrari. And, because artists are desperate and a lot of them are not knowledgeable. The reason is because oftentimes people who are talented are not very organized people. They are quite spontaneous. So they are much eager to sign, to say, Charles has now been signed to Moit, Charles has now been signed to YBNL. They are not necessarily interested in knowing the details. So when an artist comes under a label, you are supposed to have your personal lawyer aside the record label owner. You are also supposed to have your own manager aside the record label manager, who ensures your interest is, guarded. So if an artist comes to my label, he's supposed to come with his lawyer and with his manager. And then we need your talent, we have the money. This is the percentage, meaning that in all of this royalty, since it's open, it's an open book. Any sale, any record you do under, maybe we had an agreement that you're recording for us 5 albums in 5 years, or let's say 3 albums in 5 years, because not everybody records album every year. 3 albums in 5 years, you owe us. And in all of this album, this is the percentage ratio. Meaning that even if I have left that label and I'm now running my own label, we've seen series of artists like Keith Daniel has his own label. He used to be with G Worldwide and all of that. I am still entitled to the song, the percentage ratio of the songs I record while I am under your label. I am still entitled to my 30% of every streaming till the end of life. I am still entitled. So even if I now have my record label, as long as it's written in an agreement, is signed by a barrister, the law court is aware of it, I still own that percentage interest in all my royalties from every song I put out under your record label. But people don't know these things. I strongly wish that there can be a forum where artists can be educated, about music business rather than just music making or producing of songs. So that is it about royalty. It must be spelled out. It must be written in your contract. And when you are reading your contract, get a lawyer to read for you. There are certain clauses that you see there. You think it's English language. Just or maybe can put you in trouble. Or as well as can put you in jail, because you just do not understand the meaning of that as well as. So it's important that artists understand all of these variables when signing a deal, and understand that while we are uploading all my songs in my catalog, as long as it's under this record label, this is the percentage ratio. Also talk of bookings. I didn't mention that. The ratio is also about bookings. Some labels don't split royalty of streaming with artists. They will just split bookings, meaning that you're not going to show, they're paying you now 10 million naira per show. It's 70-30. Okay, 10 million naira means you take 3 million, and then we take 7 million. Since we are buying clothes for you, we are paying your salary, we are taking care of your bills and all of that. And then streaming platform, the artist will not even know how many sales is making every month, what is coming into the label. In fact, they'll be telling him, you're not making money for us, so there is no booking, nobody's calling you. And he will be fighting himself, he'll be depressed, not knowing that his song is actually selling, on digital distribution platforms.
All right, let's look at the factors, the signs, the algorithm that determines the success of a song on the streaming platforms. What are the factors that determine the acceptability, the success of these songs on the streaming platforms?
Thank you very much for that question. And I think the question is the answer is in the question you have asked me, the acceptability. Artists think it's about them. When you make music, you're not making music for yourself. You're making music for the people. So what do the people want to listen to? For instance, you want to go global, you record a lot of songs in Yoruba language or in Igbo. Even if we love the rhythm and the sound, we can't understand what you're singing in Australia. As much as we want to listen, there is a language barrier. So, first off is acceptability. You're supposed to put out a song that is universal in language that everybody can understand and relate with. You know, however, boys have been able to break the code to force the sound rather than the words. They force the sound on you. Now, talk of even streaming platforms. If you upload your song on a streaming platform, it will not automatically make sales. So I need to say this clearly. A lot of people who have songs on digital platform, you see 2 monthly listener, 45 monthly listener, and the song has been there for 3 years. Aside putting your song on each platform, you are supposed to go and promote on each platform. Just like, for instance, I sell popcorn and I put it on all the major stores in Lagos. I don't want to mention their name, they didn't pay me for advance. I still need to go and tell the cashier or the lady there to say, this is my popcorn. Anybody that comes in, maybe I can tip her. Please tell them that this popcorn is sweet. Let them buy it. So the fact that your song is on streaming platform does not mean it will be streamed automatically, because if people don't know you, they will stream your song. So there is need to promote on each store. You promote on Spotify, you promote on Apple Music, you promote on YouTube, YouTube promotions. You promote on all of the top major stores, Amazon. You promote on AudioMac, and ensure that these guys are putting your song on trends, for instance, on newly released, for instance. They also have their own radios. They promote it regularly so that when listeners or people want to peruse your song, come on their platform, your song comes forward. All right. So it's important that we promote on each store also. But more importantly, the algorithm that determines acceptability, like I said, the sound, the words, who are you trying to reach? If you want to go more global, then be more universal in your language. Then the sound, people just love something new. Sometimes you can experiment with a new sound. It's not regular. They're like, what does this one sound like? A lot of songs we celebrate in Nigeria. Have you observed that there are songs that at the beginning you're like, what rubbish did this guy just release? And then after 2-3 months, it becomes a viral song. Because artists are also trying to sample new sound. Like I was one that recently came out that a traditional sound was used. The traditional instrument was used on a pop sound, and it's everywhere. So it's important that you study the people that you are trying to sell to. What do they want to listen to? And give them exactly the way they want it. And promote it. They will stream your song.
All right, let's come to the streaming platforms themselves. Streaming platform competition. What innovative strategy separates one from another? Why would a particular artist or even a record label choose to put their song on one channel instead of the other?
All right, so like I said, I need to make this clear. If you upload your song on any distribution channel, which is, like I mentioned, let me just continue to use DistroKid and TuneCore as an example. Your song is supposed to go to all the stores, except you resist it and say, my song, don't go to Spotify, go to only Apple Music. Don't go to Apple Music, go to only Amazon. Don't go to Amazon, go to only YouTube video, YouTube audio. Ideally, when you distribute, it will go to 150 stores in the world. So you can't even restrict it to say, don't go into this place, go to this place. But your song will not do well at equal level on all the stores. Just like if I put my popcorn in all the stores in Lagos, the stores in Lekki can sell better because our people of Lekki accept it. The stores in mainland can say, which one is this popcorn? We don't like it. The stores in Enugu can say, this popcorn is too expensive. The stores in this place. So when you distribute, it goes everywhere. You can't restrict where your song goes to. You can't determine, rather. But at the point of upload, you can say, okay, take down this store. Don't put it here. But why should you just limit where your song should get to when it can be an added revenue for you? So when you distribute, automatically it will go to at least 150 international stores. When you distribute through any platform, it will go to at least 150 international streaming platforms. So you can't say, I want to my song to go here, I don't want to go. It will just go there by itself. It may now not get any streamings, but it will go there.
Now let's look at the issue of monetization and respect to royalties. Now, how do you monitor the money accrued? Take us to the process from the beginning where you upload your music to what you need to do to supervise or look at the monetization aspect for it to translate into physical cash or something in your bank account. So take us through the process, and then the issue of royalty. How do you monitor that, and how do you handle that professionally?
You know why I laughed? Because that's what I am feeding with, but I'll share with you. So when you upload your song, before upload, when you want to upload a song, number one, the song must be original. It must have original sound. Meaning that I can't just go and carry King's Daniel's song because he's popular and then uploading my name. The digital distribution platform will take it down. They won't even let it go. So first off, it must be your original song. It must be an original sound. You can also use another person's beat that has been uploaded to record your song. You see, these things use some kind of AI tools to spot a sound that is repeated or a sound that has been uploaded before. So if I put anybody's song that is not mine, the streaming platform will not allow it go. So first off, you can't upload. But let's say I now use my own song. I upload it rather. It takes minimum of 4 days for your song to get to at least Apple Music and Spotify. Some other stores will take 2 weeks, which is why we advise that if an artist wants to upload a song, between the date of release and the date of upload, leave a space of 1 month. So you see, a whiskey saying, I'm dropping a new album in October 1st, and you're wondering why is he telling you ahead? Before whiskey tells you he's uploading a song in October 1st or so date, the song has been uploaded already. But it will ensure the release date is that particular date. So I can upload my song today and say the release date, set the release date to be January 1st, 2024. That is one. Now, from the day that my song gets to stores, I must now begin to reach out to people who can help me promote the song in each of these stores. One local way that people do, they call something the farm, streaming farm. In some of the Philippines and some other countries, they gather a lot of people in the same room with plenty streaming devices, and they begin to play the song. They just leave it to repeatedly play itself from morning to night, and that's why you see the artists record a song today, and then in 24 hours they have recorded 1 million streams on YouTube, 1 million streams on Spotify. Like, how come people have, they are beginning to be faster than the technology to say, you know what, we'll not leave our fate in the hands of people. We want to control our fate ourselves. So they have a lot of devices in room. Some of these boys do it, and then they just play, stream from morning to night for days. They keep doing that repeatedly. Since the song is no more than 2 minutes, 25 seconds, so it's easier to repeat it. In 24 hours, you must have repeated it for at least, several thousands of times. So that is one way they do it, to influence and control the algorithm. But also, there are promotions you can do on those stores whereby your song can go on what we call playlists. There are popular playlists. There are some guys that have created playlists that ideally people who consume song go to play those playlists. They will every day go there because that's where they find new songs. So if a playlist has at least 1 million people who listen to it every day, and you're able to pay for your song to be on that playlist, it means that naturally, for your song to have been on that playlist, it will gain at least 1 million streams. That's another trick. Now, thirdly, when the song are now being streamed, like I said, under your Tunko account or DistroKid or CD Baby or Ditto that you used to share to all the stores, you will go to where we call under DistroKid we call it bank. Under Tunko we call it withdrawal account. You go under it to check, and you can't see it in less than a month, so it's not possible. You can't just, even if the song gain on 1 million streams today, you can't see the royalty. It won't even show yet. You can't even withdraw until after a month, because they will need to gather the sales from all the stores before they can send you such an information. So they collect sales from YouTube, collect sales from Apple Music, collect sales from Spotify, collect sales from Amazon, gather everything together before they forward to your platform, your dashboard, for you to see and say, okay, in the last 1 month, 500,000 people stream from YouTube, 1 million people stream from Spotify, 5 million people stream from Apple Music. So you will see all the details, and all the details has a certain amount they sell, they pay for each stream. So for Apple Music at the time, I think it was, I can't remember now, I think it was a bit close to, it's not up to $1. Same with Spotify, about 0.00 something cent. So you imagine how many streams you will need, because, and then I think it's 1,000 streams that now bring some certain reasonable amount. So you will need a lot of streams from each store before you can get a reasonable amount of money. That's why you need millions of streams, hundreds of millions of streams, which now translates to a lot of money. And the higher the streams, the higher the royalty. So you will need to now go to that place under your dashboard to check from time to time. Oh, I think my song is picking more on Spotify. Apple Music is not really selling much. Oh, YouTube is doing way better than this other guy. So it's a place to see it. Once you click that thing, it will show all the details. And a label is supposed to show the artist this thing. A distribution agency is supposed to show the artist this thing, but they won't show you. So then we just say, we're not making sales. And that's what we call your split sheet, because that split sheet is what has all these details. When it was streamed, how much you have accumulated on each store. And then you can make withdrawal from time to time. But that withdrawal cannot come directly to your Nigerian bank account. For instance, DistroKid does not even recognize in a Nigerian account. So what you need to do is to use what we call Payoneer, or use what we call PayPal. So you have a PayPal account that you have linked with your distribution platform, and you can now withdraw into that PayPal account. Then from PayPal account, you can withdraw into your Nigerian bank account or your dollar account.
We'll talk very much about digital music distribution, and let's look at the challenges with digital music distribution. All right, Charles.
Yes, like I said, in fact, I think it was until after 2020, I think it was 2021 or 2022, 2021, that Spotify can now allow a Nigerian to open an account. It was that bad. So as an artist, you're supposed to also have your artist account, I call it verified accounts, on each store. So if you check on Spotify, you see they write something with a blue tick, just like the Instagram tick. You see verified artist. That didn't happen until 2021. Before then, what we were doing for artists was to use a VPN to change a location and then open the account for the artist from another country, because it won't just recognize Nigeria. But I mean, 2021, they allow that. I mean, VPN is a legal thing for different businesses that you do, for issue of location and discrepancies and all of that. So that's a challenge. Nigerians, whatever we got into, we do it well. And to an extent, some of these communities are not comfortable with it. That's the truth. So there is that barrier of, what, these guys, they're just very ambitious. Anything they get into, they want to be at the forefront of it. So we have that to fight with. Second challenge is today the bank account issue also. If you live in the US, it's just your check. It will pay straight to your account. But now we still have to go through an intermediary fintech, a PayPal or a Payoneer and all of that. That's another challenge. Another challenge with distribution platform is that you need to be famous to make sales, or you go and run your promotion. You need to do a lot of work so that a song is even blowing up in a particular community, maybe on radio, they are playing it every day, does not translate to streaming. Yes, it may affect it in a way, because when people see you on TV, on radio, they want to go and check. Okay, who is this guy? Does he have a song on this platform? Let me check. But how many artists can even afford to do that? I mean, we all know, what some media stations have to do for artists to put their songs online. So the competition is becoming more fearless. It's becoming more competitive. The industry, rather, the business is. I mean, that's why you hear a lot of artists say they are depressed, because to promote an average song, as at 2019, to promote a single, I spent on an artist at that time 5 million naira, and this is covering, you know, I can't go into details, because there are people who just want to settle before your artist can be heard, you know. So it's becoming more expensive. You see somebody shoot a video, they tell you that one video is 10 million naira or 20 million naira. Where do you start from? So all of these things are challenges that an artist face in the music industry. It's becoming more expensive, like the battle of the fittest. So if you can't go out, then go home. That's what they have turned the record label thing to. And then you see people, and that's why if a record label spends a lot of money on you, they are willing to take it back, even with your pound of flesh. And that's the challenges we're seeing everywhere. So the investor is crying. He has recorded the first song for you, the second song, the third song, and it's not picking up. No sales, no money, and millions have gone down the drain. So except they love you, they may start acting funny, start asking for what you cannot offer. That's why a lot of them, begin to peddle other trades that are illegal, just to cover up for money that they do not make from music, and then you think it's the music. So it's a very, very funny industry. But I dare to say that there are a lot of challenges in music distribution platform. Also, reapers, like we call them on the streets. People are not truthful. Some of the things I've explained today, some people will not be happy about it, because that's where they eat from. As at that year, before I knew about this, because it was the pain of not lack of knowledge and what people were collecting from us that made me go and do a lot of research about this thing. As at 2018, I don't know jack about what I'm saying to you today. I used to think it's one vague complex theory or ideology. What is distribution? What is this one? This Apple Music. There was a guy that told us to go and bring $1,000 to help us promote on Apple Music as at 2019. He's one of the top big boys in Lagos. These are the money they used to buy a house in Lekki. I mean, when one artist can give you $5,000 just because of he cannot do research, he can't go online to check and study and learn things, and say, don't worry, I'll put your song in first 100 Apple Music. Go and bring so millions of naira. You should go and bring it, because truly, if your song gets to top 100, people will stream. So it's like business investment. You put new money inside to get money back. So artists don't mind. Oh, Egbon, bros. So if I get 10 million now, my song will be in first 100. And it's just, sometimes they will tell you it's 2 days. Go and verify what I'm saying. They say your song will be in top 100 for 2 days, because they're also doing it illegally. They say your song will get to top 100 in 2 days. When we put it there, so you are sure that you will get enough streams in that 2 days or in 24 hours. The same thing comes to Audio Mark. They are trending. That one you apply for trending, so that your song can be on trending songs in a particular genre. So trending song in Afrobeat, trending song in pop, trending song in gospel. There are boys who also runs that one background to put your song on trending song. So it's a very deep in concept. It's a very deep concept. But if there are a lot of challenges there, but if an artist will learn, knowledge is power. If an artist will learn how it works, a record label will employ a professional to tell them how it works, and not just some boys who sack their Jane and then just you want to buy Benz and put one big mansion in Lekki, and they are not an artist, they are not a lawyer, they don't contribute anything, they are not producers, they just know how to use the internet, and they rip artists off and rip label off, their earned money. So people need to go and learn for themselves so that people don't begin to call white black or blue yellow for you.
That's great. Now let's look at the dominance of the foreign players or the foreign platforms. Most of the streaming platforms are owned by foreign players. Are you looking forward to a day, Africans or Nigerians will come up with their own platform? And what is the prospect that that will succeed? Let's talk about homegrown solutions now.
That's true. Do you know, I never thought about that before, honestly. But AudioMark, I think AudioMark is owned by, I'm not sure, I don't want to be quoted, but I think AudioMark is owned by, I'm not sure, or by Nigerian, I'm not sure. But there are a bit of some of their staffs who are Nigerians. Their staff who are Nigerians. I think we should look into it. We have the numbers. At least, I mean, as at the last time I checked, we are more now. We're over 200 million people. Yes, not everybody is tech savvy who will be able to stream. But let's even say the law of 20%, 200 million. That's 20 million. Let's say 20 million people stream my song at 1 naira each. If I put it 2 naira or 5 naira, you say it's too much. But let me say 5 naira. 5 naira each, 20 million people stream my song. Please help me do the mathematics. So I think we should, if one of us can come up with it, a streaming platform for Nigerians by Nigerian, and then our money can circulate amongst ourselves, and it can even add to our GDP. All right, I am waiting for that person to start it, to create a streaming platform owned by Nigerians that will also be affiliated with the digital distribution platform. You remember I said once you distribute through one source, it goes to all the stores. When you distribute through a source, it goes to all stores. Two different words, distinctly. Source, stores. So if you ever create that your own channel, you will probably still also need to put it on maybe TuneCore, so that when TuneCore wants to distribute a song for anybody, they can also help you artists distribute song to your own store. But even if we don't want to do that and say we want to do standalone, I believe it's possible. It's just for us to begin to embrace our own thing. If our own Nigerian cars, people don't even believe in it, they can't drive it. Our own Nigerian, this thing they say is Nigerian made. It's just now that Nigerians are beginning to wear Nigerian shoes. Some people stay pride in wearing the designer, the Gucci, the Dolce or Gabbana, the guys that don't know you. And you keep making money for their generation. Some of them, they are no more, the Mercedes Benz. You still want to drive Benz at the expense of your Kosharis motor. So you see this low self-esteem of the African man or the Nigerian, but it's an African thing to think that the white is always superior to the black, that the things that come from the foreign countries are better than what we do here. Is a fallacy, it's a lie, it's a myth.
All right, Chancellor, we wish we had more time to actually look at the issues surrounding music distribution. Well, you talked about one person doing, and I want to ask, why wait for one person? What about a collaboration? Isn't this possible? Just in 30 seconds, answer that.
Yes, it's possible. I want to put it to every major record label owner in Nigeria. This is a challenge, and they should take my voice for it. The Don Jazzy, the YBNL, any of them, let them put heads together, create a streaming platform. It's business for them. If they're not thinking about it, they should begin to do it now. Let them create their own store where Nigerians can go to stream Nigerian songs, and then they can share the investment or the result of the investment. It's a business. It's something we need to look at. I am interested in it. If they don't know how to do it, I can also support. Let's get investors. Let's create our own store. Let's stream our own song from that store, and let's generate our money for ourselves and for our people.